Hi everyone, this is Jordan Zachariah from Aspas Real Estate. I'm a senior manager in our off-plan investments team. Today I'm going to go through Ellington's latest and probably most anticipated project this year, the Portside Square located in Emaar's community, Rashid Yachts and Marina. This is an absolutely amazing project. Let's dive straight into it. We're going to go through the project brief, have a look at what Ellington are actually offering to this amazing community, investment potential, and why this is going to be Ellington's most anticipated launch this year. First, in terms of the location, this is an absolute prime location. Ellington are always very strategic where they're launching their projects. They're very careful. One of the things I like about Ellington is how careful they are with their plot selection. And this is apparent in this community specifically. It's an Emaar community, Rashid Yachts and Marina. Their first buildings are handing over very soon. It's going to be entirely master planned and catered for by Emaar. Just look at how successful previous Emaar communities have been. Look at Dubai Hills Estate, one of the most transacting and popular communities in Dubai. Again, Ellington get to benefit from all of that and then add their touch to it. In terms of the actual plot they've selected or they've been given, negotiated with Emaar, it's one of the best in the entire community. In front, you have G+1 buildings, retail, cafe, even sales centers are there. And they have clear, unobstructed views over the marina and the sea, also towards Maritime City, which is where Beyond and other developers have their projects. And then on the back side, some of the units are going to have beautiful views to the downtown skyline, Burj Khalifa as well. It's an amazing plot. It's quite a large plot as well, which has given Ellington quite a lot of opportunity to make their mark and position the buildings in a way which maximizes the views of each unit and also put in an amazing clubhouse into their community. We're going to get more on that later. Moreover, on the location, as we know, this is Port Rashid. This is where the Queen Elizabeth II is. The location's great because there's proximity to downtown DIFC, just 10 to 15 minutes. Again, this is so important because when you're looking as an investor or an end user, being in this area is great. And again, when you're looking from just an investment point of view, you have to look at what type of clients are going to be looking to either rent in your property or buy it from you. And this is catering to anyone who works in downtown, which is the commercial hub for Dubai at the moment. And more importantly, DIFC, the financial center of Dubai. This is where a lot of the big companies are headquartering now. Very wealthy people are working there. And this is going to be the client base for this project. They're going to be only 10 to 15 minutes drive away on a marina with beautiful sea views in an Emaar community. It's going to be amazing for end use. It's going to be amazing for investors. So this is a super prime location. It's emerging. And why is it so important as well to look at this is because it's one of the few locations left on Dubai's coastline. Again, this is so important from an investment perspective because ultimately all things are controlled by supply and demand. The coastline is in finite supply in Dubai. We're running out of plots of land there. You know, you have to go towards areas such as Dubai Islands or Palm Jebel Ali or even towards Abu Dhabi for empty land on the beach and coast. This is prime location. Emaar has the plot. You know they're going to do an amazing job building the community. So being on that waterfront, being on that scarce plot of land is only going to increase the value of the project. Final point on location, which is important to consider because I know a lot of investors who are looking in this area will of course be familiar with Dubai Islands, Island A and Island B, and also Maritime City, which is receiving a lot of hype at the moment. And of course, what are Emaar doing themselves there? If you look at Ellington's track record, and again, that's what we're going to dive into a bit deeper later, but Ellington's track record is phenomenal. Again, we're looking at minimum 30 to 35 appreciations across all their projects. They have a 96% occupancy rate, rental yields of 8 to 10%. The proof is in the pudding with these guys. And when you're comparing it to, say, Maritime City, personally, I prefer the location of Rashid Yachts and Marina. Why? It's just closer to downtown DIFC than Maritime. The other thing to bear in mind with Maritime is you have the old dockyards and shipyard there, which is going to be moved, but we just don't have a definitive timeline on that. This is a question I get asked a lot. I think Maritime City's great. It's got potential. Again, it's got waterfront, but it's not an Emaar community, which is critical to understand. Emaar build the best communities in Dubai, And this is really important for when end users are going to be moving there. The community plays a massive part. But also for maritime cities, very bold ambitions, that dockyard needs to be removed. I don't doubt Beyond's ability to build an incredible community there, but that dockyard is going to impact things until it's moved. And also it has to go pretty much through Rashid yachts to get to maritime. So that's going to increase your travel time. And again, then looking at Dubai Islands, again, Dubai Islands looks like an amazing concept. I think the idea of living on an island with beaches, retail, malls is amazing. But again, that's going to need a lot of time to develop. Rashid Yachts and Marina, like I said, is already well underway. Buildings are starting to hand over. Emaar are very quick and organized. Dubai Islands has got a mix of developers in there, so it's not going to come in a unified way, whereas Rashid Yachts and Marina is. So from an investment standpoint, the realization in this area compared to Dubai Islands and Maritime, in my opinion, is going to be quicker, which is important for any investor or end user who wants to move into a more mature community upon handover. Let's look at what the project actually looks like. And I think Ellington have really outdone themselves with how gorgeous this project looks. So in terms of the plot, like I said, they've got such an amazing plot, and we've got 4 buildings, 3 residential and 1 office building, which is again a feature we're seeing a bit more common from Ellington now, where they're releasing and delving into the office market, the commercial space. But yeah, 3 residential buildings, roughly 400 units in these towers. And they've really been careful of how they've positioned and angled each of these residences to maximize the view. Of course, the front-facing units are going to have gorgeous marina, sea views, and some of the backside units are actually going to have stunning downtown skyline views. So Ellington are really careful when it comes to that. And, it's important to know, I know we are looking at renders, but when it comes to Ellington, renders and reality, they do match up. In terms of the size ranges and unit types in this project, so there's going to be studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 2 bedroom plus studies, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedroom penthouses as well. 136 units per tower. The sizes, studios are from about 400 to 450 square foot. 1 bedrooms from 767 square foot up to 914 square foot. Very generous size for a 1 bed. 2 bedrooms from 1,200 square foot to 1,400 square foot. Again, good size for a 2 bedroom. The 2 bedroom plus study from about 1,370 to 1,550 square foot. 3 bedroom, 1,700 square foot up to 1,874 square foot. And then the 4 bedroom penthouses from 3,440 square foot. Very generous sizes, again, important because end users and tenants are going to want to fill space. It's what everyone's after in Dubai. And what's great is, as we know, Ellington are amazing at maximizing space and including different things, that storage, etc., that really goes a long way. What's really unique that Ellington have done is they've given every layout a view of the water. This is something developers don't do often, and we see in projects nowadays, the bigger units get the best views. And this is, of course, true even in this project. But Ellington have done it in a way where studios can get a sea view, 1 bedrooms can get a sea view, 2 bedrooms can get a sea view, etc., etc. This is really, really rare in this market. And again, Ellington are just showing how they look after their investors and how they maximize everything. So that's amazing. It's true to also say that some of the backside units are also going to have phenomenal views. But again, that's something I really, really like about this project. As I mentioned, for any investor who's looking to buy an apartment in this market off plan, you have to be so strategic with where you're buying and what you're buying. Over the next 3.5 to 4 years on the construction pipeline, 85% is apartments. That's a huge supply of apartments coming to market. Bear in mind, all the apartments that already exist. Now, for an investor, if you're someone that cares about your capital appreciation and your rental yield, you of course want to maximize that. So if you're buying an apartment and a huge supply is coming, you need to be careful to avoid areas where a large amount of supply is coming, or that a project doesn't offer enough unique selling points to attract tenants or end users to buy it or rent it from you. Otherwise, you're going to face a downward pressure on your selling price and your rental amount. Why is this? Because there's just so much to choose from. Why does Ellington get such high rental yields and attract such high capital appreciation? The quality is amazing, the sizes are good, the locations they launch in are very strategic, and also the amenities are so important. And again, they've absolutely blown it out of the water of this project, and it's going to just be absolutely amazing once finished. They've got your usual pools, running tracks, landscaping in this plot, so it's like a mini community almost. But they've gone a level ahead this time, and they've built a clubhouse full of amenities. Let's just run through some of these amenities so you can get a feel about how this building and this community, I should say, is going to operate and offer to the tenants and end users. So you're going to have a darts area, football table, foosball, air hockey. There's going to be a cinema and games lounge, arcade machines. There's even going to be female, male steam rooms and saunas, like a spa, and just a plethora of other amenities. This is really where Dubai is evolving to. This is, what other developers need to aspire to. This project has it all, a pavilion full of amenities. It's got co-working spaces, kids play areas as well, 3 floors of amenities with a sky bar at the top. So again, just amazing. This is really important as an investor to understand what this project is offering. And again, when you look at the location and its competitors, which is Emaar are amazing at building fantastic communities, but their apartment projects aren't offering this level of amenities. Why is this important? Because when this whole community is finished and an end user or a tenant is looking to rent in this area because it's by the waterfront, the Marina, it's close to downtown DIFC, what building are they going to want to rent in or buy first? It's going to be Ellington's, because the amenities are superior to anything else in that location and the quality is better as well. Ellington just get the benefit of an incredible Emaar community on top. It's an absolute no-brainer. In terms of the handover, scheduled handover is for Q4 2029. Now, the launch is on the 31st of October. This is going to be Ellington's most highly anticipated launch. Bear in mind, there's only roughly 400 units to this date, and I'm recording on the 27th of October. There's been over 800 expressions of interest. So they're oversubscribed by 2. That being said, there is a process to Ellington's unit allocation. Of course, first come, first serve. Then it comes down to the EOI amount you're putting forward. If you're putting a higher EOI amount than another client, of course, you're going to get preference. And then thirdly is also the agency and agent you're submitting your expression of interest with. At SPAS, we have a fantastic relationship with Ellington, and we are in a position where we can guarantee our clients a unit. So if you're watching this, and you feel like it's too late, it's not. We can get you a unit. You do need to act fast, because this is a launch that's going to, as you can see, be sold out on the day of launch. There potentially might be cancellation units, but there will be a waiting list for them. So please do get in touch with me if you are interested. Handover, as I mentioned, Q4 2029. Payment plan with Ellington is 70-30, 70% during the construction with a 20 plus 4% DOD down payment and 30% when you get the keys. At SPAS, another benefit we can offer you is a revised preferential payment plan of 60-40. 60% during the construction with 40% on handover. Much easier to manage, and allows you to mortgage that final 40% or sell it before the handover for a flip if you'd like. In terms of prices and the price per square foot, Ellington are launching at roughly 3,000 to 3,300 dirhams per square foot. Prices for the individual units are as follows. 1 bedrooms from 2.4 to 2.6 million dirhams, 2 beds from 3.5 to 4 million, 3 beds from 5.2 to 5.8 million dirhams. What I mentioned earlier about Ellington launching an Emaar community is really important. And if we look at their track record, so Ellington House, which is a project in Dubai Hills opposite the entrance to the golf club, Ellington actually launched 4 projects on that road. Ellington House 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ellington House 1 has just handed over. And one of the things I can testify to, which you can't find in data, is how many inquiries we got for interest in this project when it got close to handover. It's now very recently handed over in the last month or two, but I'd say in the 7-8 months leading up to the handover, inquiries to that project for people looking to buy off investors was through the roof. And the track record we've now seen, minimum 35% capital appreciation in this project for all investors, with rental yields from 8 to 10%. That's Ellington's track record in an Emaar community. What do you think is going to be the result when they launch in another Emaar community on the waterfront? I can guarantee it's going to be something similar, if not better. This is an incredible project. In my opinion, it's far better than Ellington House. You have to remember Ellington House 1, 2, 3, and 4 was conceptually designed 4 years ago. The market's evolved a lot since then, and the amenities and quality Ellington are offering were great then, and you can go and even look at what they've done at Ellington House 1. It looks amazing. It looks better than anything else in Dubai Hills at the moment. It's a whole nother level in this project. And again, that's just fantastic news for investors, because you're going to own a unit that's scarce, 3 residential towers, just 400 units with mixed unit types. That begins your scarcity. You're in a scarce location on the coastline. You're in an Emaar community. You're going to have the best product in that community, and in my opinion, in the surrounding areas as well. This is an amazing project, not one to miss out on. If you're interested, you can drop me a message on WhatsApp. My number will be on the screen in the description. Leave a comment and let me know how I can assist. Thanks for listening, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.